So parallel lines are lines that go like railroad tracks, right? They have the same slope. So the slope of the first line equals the slope of the second line. So if this is line 1 and this is line 2, they have the same slope. They're not going to intersect, okay? Those are parallel lines. The big thing is they have the same slope. Perpendicular lines, well, those are lines that if you have one going like this, then the other line, if it's perpendicular, they meet at right angles there. So they're not any two lines that intersect, but they have to make 90-degree angles at their point of intersection. And they have a relationship. Their slopes, they're not equal, but their slopes are opposite reciprocals. Okay, so say your say the slope of line 1 is 1/2. Then line 2, if it's perpendicular, then the slope of that line has to be -2. Okay? So you have to take the opposite. One has to be positive, one has to be negative, unless they're horizontal and vertical lines. But other than that, one's positive, one's negative, and they're reciprocals of each other. Another way to say it is that M1 times M2 equals -1. All right, so they'll usually put that in books. But let's say you have a slope on your first line that's -3. Then a line perpendicular has a slope of 1/3. So the first one's negative, the other one's positive, and then you have to do the reciprocal. Okay? Those are 2 examples. Let's say you have a slope of -4/5. Then the slope of the line perpendicular would be positive 5/4. Okay? All right, there's 3 examples. Given the functions below, identify the functions whose graphs are a pair of parallel lines. Parallel lines have the same slope. So this has a slope of 2, the f function. The g function has a slope of 1/2. The h function, I wish those were spread out more. I don't know why they didn't type that way, but that has a slope of -2. And then the j function has a slope of 2. Okay, so which ones are the same? This one, f, and j. So f of x and j of x are parallel. Parallel lines. And nobody else has the same slope, just those 2. All right, which ones would be perpendicular lines? Well, you can't have these 2 because you can't have f and g because they're not one positive and one negative. They're both positive, right? Okay. So, well, it'd have to be an m, and then the only, h, and then the only one that would be the opposite reciprocal would be 1/2, which would be g. So g of x and h of x are perpendicular. Okay.